Welcome, welcome. My name is Seth Holocron, and I represent the Dongers of Runeterra. We're a European group of Legends of Runeterra players, and we participate in not only our own tournaments, but like the Jewels of Runeterra. We have a fantastic Discord, and I am very proud to be one of the founding members of that group of wonderful, wonderful people who I like a great, great deal. And part of my job is, if you've never watched a Donger deck discussion before, is to make new decks. And to be fair, I'm really, really, really missing uh, this geezer. But I'm not missing playing TF Swain. I played it a lot. Our streamer, I'm so humble, played it a lot. And it's still okay. Adding in some of the new Bilgewater cards that automatically do damage levels up Swain really fast. So the deck has evolved and it's still very good, but I think we can make a better Swain deck by going into Freljord instead of Bilgewater and adding in Feel the Rush, which I think is just bonkers. The whole deck is bonkers, but this card that gives you two fully leveled champions at 10-10 for 12 mana. It's the most broken card in the game. I've adored the KDA event. I pay for every event that Riot put out, and I did with this. And some of the spells have been fantastic, but this spell's just above and beyond the plane of what's actually available, and it's too good that if you're in this region, then you need to be playing. You absolutely 100% need to be playing Feel the Rush. So if you don't know what Feel the Rush is, let me just show you the deck, and it's right at the bottom. It costs 12, and it's a Freljord. So I have a Feel the Rush, Trundle Tryndamere. That's just, I mean, it's good, and it's really good. This deck is, I love this deck. Okay, so I actually went against what I normally do, and I went into ranked to play this, and I played 4 games, and I won all 4 stupidly easy. Like, it wasn't even close. And yes, you need to go to at least round 10, but we've enough stuff in this deck to be able to keep pretty much every character in this deck does something and then blocks. Does something, then blocks. The spells bump up Swain. Take trades that your guy's gonna survive. Okay? Just survive damage until you can drop this. And to be completely honest, the only thing that stops this is deny. That's it. That's it. This will almost always go through, even at slow speed. This always goes through. And yes, I've had one of my guys vengeanced, but in my opinion, he picked the wrong one because he didn't hit the overwhelm one. But let me go through this deck because it is just fantastic. So no 1-drop as a unit because we don't need anything on 1. A deck that wants to go to round 10 and beyond does not need a 1-drop. This is not a Noman Hawk deck, even though we're in Freljord. We want good, seriously good units. And if we have a little look here, we have 7 cards that go past 8. We then get the equivalent of at least 3, if not 4 ice pillars. So we're going to have 8 cost cards quite often. Let's do the deck. Swain's favorite thing in the world ever. Deal 40 a unit. You cast all 3 of these in the game, he's leveled. Swain will come out leveled just playing it normally without Feel the Rush. There's so many ways we can do things. But this is just brilliant. I mean, it is literally just brilliant. And we aren't running stun spiders. This is not a stereotypical Swain deck because it's in Freljord. So we're not going Bilgewatery type things. You know, we are not going into Noxus as deeply as we would have done before. As you can see up here, we are running 24 cards. This is a more Freljord deck with a splash of Swain Leviathan. My favourite thing, 22 units, 18 spells, no landmarks, 6 champions. And the champions are Swain and Trundle, as you can see here. So why did I pick Swain and Trundle? Well, after a very long time, I've taken a lease off my screensaver, and Trundle is now probably my favourite champion in the game. For you to be able to cheat him out slightly early in other Trundle decks, you will not be doing that in this one. He will come out on 5. You want to play slow, really slow. You want to take your time with this deck. You want to block their biggest, most powerful attack units. Doesn't matter if your guys die, it's fine. You don't want to hard mull for really anything in this deck. You just play the cards that you get. This deck very rarely bricks, in my opinion. So you have always got something. But Ravenous Flock is not something you want in your opening hand at all. You want to damage something, or you want to have it stunned. So there are ways of doing that. And we'll show you what they are in a wee minute. So, Troll Chant, there we go. Nice burst spell. Unlike the Flock, which is fast. But the Troll Chant, straight away, give yourself 2 extra health. That's great. That would be actually worth 2 mana, almost. But the fact that you can give any enemy when they're attacking, or defending, or whatever it happens to be, -2 attack, brilliant. That's reduction in power, additional health, 2 mana, yep, 3s of. And as you can see, we're all 3s here. So I've actually tried to build this as productively as I can. So because we have got things that we need. Troll Scavenger, again, isn't something you really want to put down on turn 2. Not really. Yet, it is the only unit we have until we hit 3. So this is the first playable unit we can play. Yes, he's a chump blocker, so he's a 1/3, but if you have an 8-cost card in hand, this is the only thing I'm going to suggest. If you have an 8-cost card in hand, keep it, because that will then do all the troll additional things that you need, including plus power, regeneration, and all the other sort of stuff that trolls are really handy with. And I am really becoming, I used to be a huge elusive player. Now trolls do, wow, I just think trolls are fantastic and are not being utilized enough in this game. Not at all. So this guy, if you have one in your hand, he becomes a 4/3. Now, this is a card you want to play. If you get this and, say, a Leviathan, yep, because nothing on turn 2 is going to be able to do really 3 damage, apart from the Avarzian Sentry, who will then probably block you anyway. So losing a 4/3 to a 3/1 is not a good trade at all. But then we have Troll Chant as well. So we have always got things that we can sort of play about with. Anytime I ever play a game, I immediately see at the start who we're doing. If you miss it, girlfriend, boyfriend is talking to you, which is all good. They're letting you play games, so, interact with them. They are your other half. Or your mum and dad are calling you for dinner or something like that, and you miss what it is. Click their deck, see what they're doing with. And things like these two can be fantastic at sniping the champions. So if we just take these as an example. Culling Strike kills a unit with 3 or less power. So good night Swain, good night Draven, good night Katarina, good night Braum, good night Anivia. Now it doesn't do these 3. But it's the power. It's the gold number. It won't kill a Trundle or a Vlad or an Ash, because that's a 4, 5, and a 5. Got a 3-3-3-0-2. Yeah, these guys are all dead. Now the big ones that cost a lot, it won't do an awful lot. But the likes of Elise's and the smaller sort of like Lucian, for instance, 3-2, just kill him. So that is something you would want in your opening hand. Death's Hand is also very good. So now if we look back over here, you can kill Katarina straight away. Just kill her. Because Death's Hand does 2 to an enemy and 1 to the enemy nexus. Now that is fantastic for Swain. So is Culling Strike. But not in the same way. It's allowing their entire gameplay, because I've built all my decks thinking of champions. And speaking of champions, I still haven't said why I went for Swain and Trundle. So, this guy coming out at Fearsome, and this guy coming out with Regeneration at 10-10, these aren't dying unless you're Vengeanced or Ruinated. That's it. If you can play your guy on an attack level, added to which, if you haven't got a Trundle out and you have a Troll Scavenger in hand, then he becomes a 4-3 when you pop him down after these two have hit, after you play the Ice Pillar, because it's still beholded. So Death's Hand will do 3. There's 7. Kindly Tavern Keeper. Brilliant card. 3-3, 4-3. Heal an ally or your Nexus 3. It's the magic number. Brilliant. He's a 3 of. Every single one of these cards. All 3s of. Should, however, you get much more expensive things than the 5 and the 8 range, do not despair. As I guarantee you, probably within the first couple of rounds, you will pull this. And this is your get out of jail free card in this deck, where you will deal 2 to all units. So should you be playing a spider deck or discard aggro deck or the pirate aggro deck or whatever, in the early rounds this is fantastic. If you're playing anything against things that have just 2 health, and if we just scroll, dead, 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 dead. Can you see where we're going with this? Everything here, apart from that, he stays alive. He stays alive. He stays alive, but that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. You can obliterate an entire board. It's a 4-mana Ruination. It's too good not to be running 3 of. Let's go on down. Second Troll, the Ravager. If you have the 8-cost card, he becomes 3-5 with Regeneration. Oh my god. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. So, to be able to put this down, with that, 3-5, up pumps a little heart potion thing, and, this, and you get Regeneration. So it fully heals, and it stays at 3-5. Unless something like a 5 Angry Troll 5-5 hits you, that's got to be dead. But then, not really, because, you could always, if you've got the mana Troll Chant, make it a 5-7, and then it dies, and you're all good. So, nobody dies. That's handy. So it is very, very handy. You can see where we're going. We've got little tricks to keep people alive, because you need to block a lot. All right, this is a block deck. Okay, next card that isn't really used as often as it probably should be, but this is good. This is good. It's especially good if you're running out of mana, because then you'll get an extra mana, and this can be the one. If you drop it on 4, you will be able to put this out on 5. If you have avalanched on turn 3 and you've kept one of your guys alive, because if you think about this, he is probably going to be okay. So you could do this, then avalanche next turn, fire him out, and because he's regenerated, the Wolf Rider has Overwhelm, you'll get an empty mana gem, which will then allow you to play one of these and still he will still have mana for the next round, which is fantastic. So there's our Swain and Trundle, but that isn't enough. That's just not enough. So that's the basis of the deck. Early and mid game, block, heal, take good trades, get as much Swain stuff as you can if he's in your hand. If not, just go down the Trundle route. What we need to win is Feel the Rush. It doesn't even need that at all. As I said at the start of this video, I broke my own little rule and I played it in ranked. And only 2 of the games, so 50% of the time I needed Feel the Rush. The other times I didn't need it at all and didn't feel like it even needed to be in the deck. But when you've got it in the deck, keep the 12 mana, especially when you're getting to round 7, round 8, round 9. Drop a couple of little small things like a Tavern Keeper, like a Culling Strike, whatever it happens to be. But on round 10, you want to have at least 2 spell mana banked. And then the full 10 goes in and you can drop Feel the Rush to get a 10-10 Swain and a 10-10 Trundle on your attack turn, which can be utterly horrendous. Remember, Swain has Fearsome and Trundle is, I mean, these guys are doing an entire death thing, 20 to the face, and anything that doesn't have at least 3 power can't do anything. And if that isn't good enough, we've got a Farron who gives you 3 decimates on top of your hand already to do 4 more, and he's an 8/8 with Overwhelm. So if you can get this guy down, he's the only 1 drop in the game that I have, simply because, well, is he needed? Yes, he can carry the game. As a 1 in 40 chance, he is a brilliant card to use, but Decimates just ruin everybody. They know you've got 3. They can see the 3 in your hand. You know, next turn, you know, you're probably going to drop 2 of them. You know, that's 8. So if you have like 10 to go and all these things with like, you know, if you've dropped this, remember when he levels, he also gets Overwhelm. Swain, it's that fearsome that he can't really be stopped. Farron has Overwhelm. Wolf Rider has Overwhelm. We're doing damage to the Nexus every time we're attacking. You can't run Swain without 3 Leviathans. That is also bumping your Swain up. He also draws you as Swain. It's the best ship in the game by miles. It is the meta card if you're playing Swain. Therefore, we're running 3 and 3 Feel the Rushes. And that is my Swain Feel the Rush deck, because I think it's a very, very good deck indeed. So the deck code and all the things that are social media and a free invite to come enjoy the Dongers of Runeterra Discord are in the pinned comments. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Play it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Everything is good and all replies are answered by moi. So, thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, take it easy. Dongers out.